Hello, Uranium friends. We are back with episode 11 of Uranium Talk, talking all things uranium. I am Jungle Funk from the Chart Guys, joined here by Chris, Red Devil. Chris, how are you doing?
Joe, I'm doing good, buddy. How are you?
Awesome. I'm doing good as well. It's we got another 3-day weekend, which is nice. It's kind of funny. I sleep a lot less during the bull markets because I'm up late trading and doing this and that. But dang, if bear markets don't make me tired. So these 3-day weekends come in clutch.
Yeah, but you're a crypto guy, so you might be banging out some trades all weekend long if you want.
Yeah, well, crypto is coming back to life, so that might be back on the menu. So we will have to see.
So
But
check this out, dude. We've had a couple of pieces of news, nothing crazy, but let's just talk about it because there is some stuff. All right. So
what do we got?
URA, they issued about 1 million shares this week. So there's, some fund flows are coming in, and that's translating into the equities of the underlying. They do have a rebalance coming up this month, and they have been talking about their holdings and trying to maybe rotating out of some into some others that are more ESG compliant. So we got to see how that plays out. But the good thing is that there was fund flows into URA this week, and to the tune of about 1 million shares. Precise number, 1,070,000. So good stuff there.
Right on.
Yeah. Um, Sanctions chatter is starting to filter its way back in. So Ukraine was talking about maybe we should sanction Rosatom or Rosatom, however you pronounce it, and Poland and I think Lithuania kind of got on board with that too. So there was a couple of pieces out this week about sanctions chatter. The uranium space, all of us U-twits and Redditors. Oh, by the way, shout out to the Uranium Squeeze Room. They do some good work over there, especially on the fundamental side. So check it out if you want. But we've been exposed to the sanctions chatter multiple times. So no one's freaking out over it saying, oh, this is going to be the big run at the moment. If sanctions do occur, we could see a pretty good pop in the space. But I'm of the opinion, and I've posted it multiple times in a room, I don't think the U.S. is prepared to do sanctions. They just don't have enrichment capacity yet.
All right. Yeah, pretty straightforward. What
Yeah,
else you
pretty
got? Lay
straightforward.
it on me. Some South Korea news?
Yeah, South Korea. They've kind of indicated that they're going to be not moving away necessarily, but kind of concentrating more on nuclear energy as opposed to renewables like wind and solar. So, South Korea, we've talked about this, you and I, Joe, but South Korea, those guys are they're on their game over there. And it's good to see like one of the better operators in the world actually kind of take this stance. So we'll see how it plays out. But just again, more fundamental bullish stuff. And there's one last thing. And we're going to link this guy's Twitter. He goes by the name of Narf, Knarf. But he posted up a pretty cool list of about 130 uranium names and their market caps and whatnot. We're going to link that Twitter below this video. But if you want to start, looking at somebody, a lot of guys, they trade on market cap and whatnot. Just a nice little resource to have. So we're going to link that in.
Right on. Yeah, and he's got a lot of good stuff on his Twitter for the space. We talked about him in an earlier episode, right? When we gave that follower list. Was he on there?
I'm not sure if he was on there. We'd have to go back and look. I'm old. I don't remember a lot of stuff, Joe. You know that.
Yeah, I think he.
You're the guy that's supposed to remember stuff.
I think he was on there. I'll give it
Okay.
a 84% odds he was on there. But we'll link that here. Check him out. Lots of good stuff, and that list is a goodie for sure.
So,
So
but technically, as far as price action and everything, fairly bullish week across the board, right?
yeah, everything's hanging on. Things are looking good. So we'll just pop over into the charts here now and talk about those things. We'll start with the broad market, just since that's kind of the anchor for everything. And bulls are seeing what they want to see. This 2-week inverse head and shoulders continues to materialize. And we kind of dodged a fundamental event on Thursday. We had CPI numbers came in at 6.5%, inflation seeming to be cooling off a bit, and the S&P 500 reacted bullish. This move continues on. So we'll continue to watch this daily uptrend. And basically, bulls will want to hold this 12 EMA next time we see consolidation. If that's lost, we could be looking to shape up a weekly lower high here. But now at this point, we're closer to resistance than we are from support. So that's a good look because it would give bulls a chance to defend support down there if we do see some deeper pullback. So that's what the whole market wants to see. Now let's get into uranium stuff. So checking in on the URA SPY ratio chart, monthly EQ continuing to tighten up. But now that we're getting up towards resistance, we're going to have to keep our eyes peeled for any signs that this move is topping out. There's no signs of that at the moment. We do have a little daily consolidation underway and a fresh daily higher low set here at the low of Thursday. So if that's taken out, that would give us some weekly consolidation, breaking this higher low every weekly candle pattern. And basically, if bulls can hold this weekly 12 EMA, then this monthly move will continue on. If we lose that weekly 12 EMA, that would look like a monthly lower high beginning to shape up to continue to tighten. So going to keep eyes on this closely as always, because when this breaks, whatever way it goes, it's going to have huge implications on the price action in the uranium space.
Yeah, a lot of people may not use ratio charts as much as they probably should. So it's a good idea to keep an eye on this because it will help dictate directionally where we go.
Yeah, definitely. As we've talked about in a previous episode, if we get the full-on uranium squeeze bull bonanza, in my opinion, it will be coinciding with this monthly EQ breaking to the upside and lots
The bull
of
bonanza.
runway overhead. So yeah, we're all here for the bull bonanza. We don't want to
Bull
be
bonanza.
doing anything else. So moving on here to U.UN, our monthly bounce seeing some follow through. But when we zoom into the daily, we can see that this is looking like we're slowing down here, starting to top out. Had a pretty high volume red day on Monday. Still holding our daily EMAs, but now we have a new line in the sand here at 1595. So if that is broken, we'll have some weekly consolidation underway. And then bulls, if they want to keep weekly consolidation healthy, want to hold like the 1530s area. I can pull a quick fib on there to be a bit more precise. Yeah, 1540 is the 0.5 retrace, 1541.
So Joe, that red day was January 6th, correct?
January 9th.
January 9th?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. So it's and we got to keep eyes on U.UN because remember that U.UN bottomed out before our miners. So we're kind of watching now as we are respecting that all of our miners are range bound, and it's been a nice move, but we know consolidation will come again. If we see U.UN start to come down, that will kind of be a check mark in the short-term bear box that maybe we've got weekly consolidation shaping up on our miners. That being said, there's no signs of it yet. CCJ has maintained this higher low every daily candle pattern since our last episode here. Certainly slowing down a little bit, higher highs, starting to see less follow through. So if this pattern breaks, we'll look to see if our daily 12 EMA is held as support. And if it is, then the move will remain strong. But we know that it won't be surprising when we see weekly consolidation again eventually, and bulls will want to see a clear weekly trend change if they want to make a move further up into this monthly equilibrium. So certainly,
what does what's CCJ's daily bar look like on that Monday?
CCJ saw a nice green day. There was an upper wick on there.
But yeah, because now I'm looking at URA and URNM, and same thing. They had green day. So, and I speculated a little bit in the room about this, that maybe it's possible rotation. You know, some money coming out of U.UN and then moving into the miners a little bit.
Yeah, we'll have to see. We know one thing with this space for sure is that they kind of play follow the leader around. So if you see like one name make a strong move in one direction. You got to keep your eyes peeled for the potential that others follow to the upside and to the downside. So not as much U.UN with the miners, but certainly within the major miners of CCJ, UEC, NXE, and UUUU. So something to keep an eye on. Bulls in control. We are testing this 4-hour 12 EMA that we were saying is going to be the guide for tight bull control here. So push down below here on Friday. Bulls bought back up the dip, but just the early signs that perhaps we've got some consolidation coming, which, as we say every week, pretty much, consolidation's fine. It stinks if you're a bull, but it's part of a healthy chart. So we'll just have to see that consolidation remains healthy. Moving on to UEC, kind of similar dealio of higher highs, starting to not see much follow through. We've got bulls defending a double bottom at 383 and 384. If that level's taken out, we'll have some weekly consolidation underway, and bulls will want to confirm a clear weekly trend change if they want to see follow through on this monthly bounce that just got started. So key resistance is still 465, and there is some runway up until there. But if we were to come down and take out like 348 area, then that wouldn't be the best look. We just remain in this range down here. So NXE is bumping up on key resistance, 485. When we look at the monthly here, it was one of our weaker names confirming a monthly downtrend, while CCJ and UEC kept their monthly uptrends going. But now NXE is threatening to reconfirm a monthly uptrend. So if it gets through 485, it would do so. And that is that. Daily
Yeah,
chart.
so with NXE, I've been tracking that trade as well in the room and everything. I've been saying it for a while now. I'm usually buying NXE in the low 4 area, and I'm usually selling it in the 470 range and whatnot. So that's been working, and I'm going to still continue doing that.
Yeah. Have you? I know you were talking that you had sold some calls on your position. Have you? Are
Yeah,
you still
I
in your
have
full position?
those
Or
calls. No, 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 no. The calls are not on full position.
oh, just on a.
Yeah,
So
they're just on
your
a. They're
common
just
shares though, are you still holding all of those and selling the
no, no.
calls as the
I've trimmed
primary?
out a good portion of my common shares because I'm just playing this range.
Yeah.
And when the range breaks, then I have to reassess my whole game plan with this particular name at the time. But I still have those calls, and if they don't get executed on me, then I'll just either write more depending on the action, or I'm just going to take it from there. Maybe I'll just I'm looking to add again somewhere in the $4 range. If it comes down to like, I don't know, I had a number already in my head. There's a gap below
Uh-oh.
448. So, I'm not really too keen on adding into a potential gap fill below. So I would love, and I have my alert set. I mean, I would love to see that gap I'd like to see the price action get into that gap before I decide if I'm going to re-add. But I will be looking to add more into this position.
Right on. Yeah, and let's take a quick peek at the weekly. Not as much clarity on here because we have this big wick from the first week of the year, but we have a clear resistance, and we've got support down at 406 and then 394, that general $4 area that you're talking about. So are we going to tighten up and remain sideways, or are bulls going to be able to get to the highest prices since June 2022? We'll find out. Moving on to UUUU. So we talked about UUUU as a laggard last week, and it played out nicely. And you can kind of see that laggard action into the close of Friday, continuing to just show itself when we look at the close at the high of the week on UUUU versus CCJ. I mean, CCJ is pretty close there still, but everybody else is off of their highs of the week, and UUUU closing up at the top tick. And if we look at that ratio chart, the 2-day UUUU URA ratio chart, we were saying going to need to get up and over this 2-day 12 EMA, and boom shakalaka, we've got that. So we'll see how long this relative strength can remain UUUU bulls certainly want to see a move up into the 34-cent range on this ratio chart.
Joe, did I just hear you say boom shakalaka?
Yeah, man.
Is
What's
that
wrong with that?
a technical TA term?
I'll have to look. I'm pretty
I
sure
gotta
it
search
is.
Wikipedia right now, see if there's a
Yeah,
or what is it? Investopedia. If there's
Investopedia.
a boom shakalaka term.
I know Scotia's on there, but
Like
Boom
this goes,
Shakalaka, I might
yes.
need to still write the article on that one.
All right.
But pulling it back in here, we've got a little daily higher low support on UUUU at 664. As long as that's support, then the show goes on. But let's look at the 2-day actually. I would say if these 2-day 12 or these 2-day EMAs that are crossing bullish, if those are held as support, then things will remain fine. The uranium space can get kind of wicky where the daily charts can be deceiving at times, which is why I do lean on the 2-day charts a lot. So if that 664 got taken out, that could still very well be healthy 2-day consolidation. But if we fall back through these EMAs, then that would be the sign that we've got some weekly consolidation.
Listen, I got to give you a
shaking out.
shout out. I will admit, the 2-day time frame call out by you, which I've fought originally.
Yeah,
I
I
like
do.
it does clean things up a little bit. So I'm going to give you this one.
I'm gonna clip this and put it on my fridge somehow.
We're not recording, are we?
Yeah.
We're not recording right now, are we?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay, good. That's fine. Pretend I never said anything.
All right. I think that's all I've got for checking. I guess we'll pop over to XLE just to show that bulls are still doing what we want them to do. Got a daily uptrend here, and these EMAs will be the guide just as they are in the S&P 500. But yeah, that's all I've really got chart-wise this week.
Yeah, you know what, dude? Give me the screen.
Yeah, let's get some Chris action. You
Okay,
are
so
live.
all right. So American Lithium, I forgot to bring this up earlier, so we'll bring it up now. American Lithium uplisted to the NASDAQ. So why do we care about American Lithium? Well, they got uranium. I've been playing this name for like 2 years. Pretty small. I mean, it was an F ticker. But I think this is your run up into the NASDAQ listing. I think it might have listed on one of these 2 days is when it actually listed here. But it's a good sign. I've actually liked playing this name, and I will continue to do so. And I'm really happy that it's on the NASDAQ now. So if you don't have this on your watch list, people, throw it on your watch list because it's a NASDAQ name. It's going to have better liquidity. It's going to be a better trader. And this thing, even when it was an F ticker, it's performed well. So it's LI in Canada on a TSX venture as well. So if you don't have that on your watch list, throw it on there and keep an eye on it. All right, because that's what I'll be doing.
And it's got big time volatility.
Yeah,
like one of those days last week is like a 17% whopper or something like that.
It's some good moves. So now it's on NASDAQ again. It's great. Am I going to try to position up here? No, because look how hot it's running. B, we got a nice little gap here. But the name is strong. So maybe if it comes down into this 260 area, we'll see how things the rest of the sector wide are concerned in broad market. But we'll see. I'm going to be scouting an entry on this thing, no doubt. I just don't know where it's going to be yet. And as time goes on, I'll update. I'm not interested in chasing it here. So just to review, I am still in my URNM half position trade.
Nice.
And I have done nothing yet. I've raised my stop for just below this gap because there is a gap here. I'm always concerned about gaps personally, but there is a gap here. So I think I was like 33.28 or something like that, somewhere around there. I left room for this gap to fill, and I'm leaving it at that. I'm still riding this thing. I want to see what happens up here in this 35.80 area, see if it takes it out. So that's the update on that trade. And then on UUUU, I posted this also. I think I took an entry, I believe it was 52, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere. And I did. I posted it in the room. I trimmed a little bit out of that position into this resistance. I will reload that trim if it starts coming down, testing this area here, but it's all going to depend on what's going on with the rest of the stuff, because when you start to look at these charts on these dailies, they all kind of look the same, but there's other names that have this look to it with this big bar, but they have left gaps. So I'm going to want to see those gaps fill on those other names first, or at least test those gaps a little bit before I reload that piece that I've cut out into this resistance here. We'll see.
Yeah.
It gets over 7, it could be good as long as things are strong. But those are the updates on really the 3 trades that we've always been talking about and tracking, right? NXE, URNM, and UUUU. That's where I'm at right now, and I am scouting AMLI at this point.
Very nice. And just a note on those gap fills: if we enter gap fill territory on most of these names, that would be weekly consolidation. So, and as we've been talking about, weekly lower highs on a lot of these names, or I guess it's not necessarily straight up weekly lower highs on every name because we have slightly different structures, but we know we've seen a nice move off the lows. We know weekly consolidation won't be surprising when it comes. And we're starting to maybe see early signs of it with higher highs, starting to see less follow through on a lot of these names. And that essentially shows you bull exhaustion, because if everything's still strong, when you get above resistance, you see another firm leg up. But when you pop above resistance and then pull back, that just shows that exhaustion. So keep an eyes out for weekly consolidation, perhaps this week. A lot will probably depend on the broad market as well.
And not only in uranium, but you're seeing it a lot, right? So a lot of these names pop up over resistance, they reject, and they continue that downward thrust. So we're not immune to that in any way. So we'll see how it plays out, but we just got to be aware of that. That's why, like anybody, there are people out there, myself included, sometimes that'll take these breakout plays. I just don't, I'm hesitant on the environment at the moment. So a lot of people will identify the breakouts, and then they'll wait for the back test on that breakout area. So we'll see how it plays out during the week.
Definitely a safer way to do it than just straight up buying the break. And as always, context is king. Every bull break is not created equal. So, we're at nearing 23 minutes, so we got to be quick here. But we are going to, we had a request to touch on Paladin. So going to touch on that real quick. Let me get back on the chart here. So Paladin is looking to shape up a monthly higher low. We know we got a monthly downtrend confirmed, no follow through into a big bounce right back to resistance. And when you get these trend changes without follow through, that tells you to zoom out, look for a potential bull flag. And that's what we got here on the 4-month or 3-month time frame, excuse me. So zooming into the weekly, we've broken weekly lower high resistance. We're up and through EMAs. That's a great look, and similar to many names in the space right now, just watching this higher low every daily candle pattern. And when that breaks, we'll have daily consolidation underway. And as long as EMAs are held as support, then consolidation's healthy. Once those are lost, that's the first sign that the move is kind of petering out. So we know we still will need a weekly trend change, but there's a lot of room to the upside here, and it's certainly a volatile name.
Yeah, so, give me the chart give me the screen for a second.
Yeah, let me send it back to you.
This is kind of why, like, I'm attracted to the space in a way. Paladin has great price history, right? In 1995, look at the run this thing made from not even like a quarter, a tenth of a cent or whatever it is, up to $10, right? So, and this is the monthly chart here. We are in log. So now this is your last run. Like, to me, this is a good looking chart. It's kind of consolidating right where you would almost expect, especially with this volume profile here. But the fibs, even on this move, I mean, it really hasn't really retraced a lot at all. So Paladin looks good. It's a tough one to deal with. For me, it's not a trader, right? So I'll just kind of, I have a little position here. I'm not really adding or subtracting. I'm just kind of letting it go. That's my plan here with Paladin.
Nice. I think that's typically a good plan on the lower float penny stocks. But yeah, really a lot of names in the uranium space have this monthly consolidation up at the top like this on the log charts. And when you look at the rest of the market and what everything else has been doing over the past year, like so many names have been decimated. And for uranium to just be hanging up at the highs like this, gotta ask yourself if the S&P 500 puts in a bottom, which there's not really hardcore signs of a bottom in yet. If we confirm that 2-week inverse head and shoulders, that'll be the first more legitimate one. But we're right in the average bear market drawdown spot. So like I know there's a lot of people saying that ES 2000 is going to trade and all that stuff, and it totally could. But also, the bear market could wrap up and we could all look back and be like, wow, I should have loaded up on all the strong names when everything else was decimated. But that's uranium. Uranium are those strong names. They're hanging up in quarterly bull flags
I
while
mean,
some stuff's down at COVID lows.
what other asset class is hanging on in the decimation that we've been going through for the past year?
Yeah, pretty much just energy related names.
Yeah,
That's it. So,
and you would think with a high beta, small niche sector like uranium is, that it would be subjected to full on risk off, but we don't really see it.
yeah, and that kind of, we always talk about this combo of fundamentals and technicals, and we know we've got this fundamental thesis that has a lot of promise. But when you see consolidation like that, when the broad market is doing what it did, that gives some credence to that thesis that whatever's going on behind closed doors, people didn't want to throw out their uranium when people are talking about the biggest crash since 2008 on deck. So interesting stuff. And we'll continue to just let the technicals guide it. Don't even need to predict things because we get new information every week. So that's all I've got, Chris.
Yeah, Joe, we could talk forever just on this freaking Paladin, but we got to get out of here. I mean, do you think anybody even made it to the end of this video at this point?
Statistics show very few do.
Very few. Okay. All right. Well, then we're just talking to each other like normal.
All right. Perfect. Okay,
So,
everybody.
over and out.
Over and out. Simple as that. Have a great week. Stay safe out there. Watch out for some weekly consolidation if it comes, and we will see you next week. Peace.
See ya.